Welcome back to Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. I have the Audiomelt fellas all the way from, is it Wilmington, North Carolina?
Yes. Yep.
I'm not going to lie, you fellas are probably the sixth or seventh group in the last month that I've talked to from in or around Wilmington or down there. It seems to be a real hotbed of talent going on down in your neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, there's
a lot of talented artists in our area. We appreciate. We're pretty close to a lot of the other local artists in our area. We know a lot of the bigger names around here. Some of them know us too as well. Yeah. Good portion, yeah.
So who would be some of the bands down there that if my viewers were going to go out and try to see besides yourselves, who would some of the bands be down there?
First one I could think of is definitely the Hatch Bros for sure.
Hatch Brothers.
There's I guess from there's an early start of bands there's Flannel Rebellion.
They're cover
Phoebes.
bands, yeah.
Phoebes knows us.
Open Wire.
Cool. Very cool people.
Open Wire. Medicated Sunfish.
Yeah.
Love that name.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
But cool, yeah. Super cool.
Yeah.
So we covered in the first segment. You guys are going to start with singles, maybe a couple out of the gate. So how does a little group from Wilmington, North Carolina, hook up with one Matt Starr and start to get your product out there?
So basically back in May they had Creatures Fest and Matt played there with Ace, and they also had this segment on the very last day where they'd have artists and stuff like that play on stage with some other people they had there. And Matt saw me and Josh play Strutter that day. I sang it and Josh was on drums. And by chance, that very last night, I was walking into the auditorium where everything was going on, and Matt walked up to me and he was like, "Hey, are you the guy that was playing in that earlier, playing Strutter?" And I was like, "Yeah, that was me." And just hit it off from there. And he was like, "Yeah, I produce and Ace's drummer and everything." And yeah, I totally would love to see if we could maybe work on some material together, see what we can do. Yeah. So we stayed in touch since then, and he's mixed a few good songs so far.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
it's kicking ass.
Oh yeah.
That's a great story because I know people that are twice your age, and I was just talking to a couple people the other day who they have a hard time picking up the phone to make a call to get a booking. And here you guys are, fire in your belly. You're out there, kind of walking around. And I'm just gonna say you don't know any better, man, because you love the music and you just want to show what you can do. And an opportunity presents itself because I'm guessing you're ready, and B, you said the right things and you put yourselves in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
That's what we've been trying to do since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep. Just be at the right place at the right time. And our local area is kind of tough for live music, to be honest. The crowds, I mean, they're pretty good in select areas. We know where our crowds are gonna be, and we know where they aren't gonna be. Yeah. But we're relying on social media to help us, take off.
But it's also just the music too. I mean, the music to me has always been the most important thing. I mean, the songs aren't great, and it's just
we always want to make the best.
Yeah.
I heard a little snippet. It was on Matt's page. That's how I found out about you guys. And again, it's funny. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm getting bad at this. And I'm glad the first segment you put your influences out there, because I couldn't peg any. I couldn't say it sounds like this. It sounds like that. It sounded fresh. It sounded different, which I guess is a testament to what you guys are doing.
That's the biggest compliment we could appreciate. We love that. That's what we're going for.
And I think to kind of bounce off that, the reason I mean, to us it sounds kind of new too, because I mean you're taking so many different inspirations, and then you end up having, we all have our own sound to our our playing, so taking that, and even I would say me and Nico's writing styles are very similar. So when it comes down to here's a riff, it's that. It's more on the modern side of rock and metal, but with his vocals kind of more on grungy sound. It's a unique sound in a way, I almost look at it almost like being like a post grunge kind of thing.
Yep.
And it's cool.
But there is, like you say, there is a lot of those modern influences in there too. So I'd say that we're kind of just, just pushing forward and just trying to, just
Well, I
write.
mean, the interesting thing about grunge that I think, a lot. I mean, I was more the hair metal guy. Go figure. You can kind of see, but
Oh yeah, I
the
love
thing
that.
about grunge that a lot of people kind of didn't maybe understand is really it was a kind of a reboot of like the Sabbathy kind of, you know, and those riffs with like the heavy riffs and like one of my favorite bands at that time was Alice in Chains. I just thought that,
Yeah.
amazing riffage. The drumming was incredible. Very unique singer. People overlooked that maybe a little bit, I think.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, without a doubt, for sure. Yeah,
Definitely one of our favorite grunge bands as a whole.
yeah. Them and Soundgarden to me,
Yeah.
top tier. I mean, I got to see Soundgarden a couple weeks before Chris passed, and that was the one and only time that had a big effect on me too. So, just yeah, great
Yeah,
bands.
and I mean, I hear you there because the guys in that I guess era that were great singers, those were the bands I don't like the Cookie Monster metal, and I can respect it, man. It takes a lot of you
Yeah, I'm
know
not either.
work and all that. I'm definitely a Pantera fan. And that's not the dump on anybody. It's just I like what I like, and I
Yeah,
like
100%.
chops. But by the same token, I like songs.
Yeah.
I like
We are on the same boat as you. And what I feel like we pull those modern influences, but I feel like when you said the Cookie Monster metal stuff, like I like that style of music,
Yep.
but when you hear our band, that is not what you hear. Like that is not what's going to. Everyone is doing that nowadays when it comes to hard rock metal. People are screaming. Every band is doing it. I feel like us not doing it will make us put a light on us almost.
That's what's turned me on.
But
too,
I mean, I like
modern
it, but
metal.
I'm fine without it. And I
Yeah.
feel like we will do better without it. I don't think we need it.
And again, fellas, I respect it. I mean, as a drummer, when I'm sitting here listening to a guy doing 250 beats per minute, double kick, and it's just like, what? I was never that guy. I can respect the heck out of that. There's no question, right?
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of music now, right? I mean, everybody can have their opinion, and your opinion's not wrong.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, I think pulling from different styles though definitely creates it's a special thing that happens. I don't know. That's the way I look at it.
But I mean, that's the thing about a lot of bands too. Is pretty much every artist you ever hear. I mean, they're always gonna have their influences close by and usually on their shoulders wearing it. So, I mean, it's just something that happens with I'd say a lot of almost every band. So.
Yeah.
And what I feel like we've learned from this album now that we're finishing up putting the last few things on it is what we did on this album. I feel like a lot of us pulled inspiration from what we like, and I feel like a lot of bands do that with their debut. You hear a lot of inspiration from what they listened to growing up. But I feel like moving forward, we're all going to just try and create something that we enjoy versus something that is pulled from other people. I mean, we're not pulling from other people, but we're heavily inspired by a lot of artists.
And not to say that we don't enjoy what we've already written. Like we love everything we've written so far, but it's like one of those things like you learn from the experience, and like there's just maybe the process within writing we can kind of take what worked the first time, we can kind of use for this second album or whatever, because there's ups and downs. Like there's some things work, some things don't, And
Well, I mean, it's often been said your first album you've had kicking around forever, and your second one you have zero time to put it together because typically, if you're fortunate and you get an appetite for destruction, or you get something along the lines of that, and it keeps going and going and going and going, you have some time. But for the most part, and it's different now, but record companies have very little bandwidth for waiting. They want instant results, and if they don't get them, they're on to the next thing, right?
And there's so much music out there too. I mean, thousands of songs being uploaded every day, pretty much, essentially. So
yeah, and that's a whole new world too. And I mean, that's certainly I know you guys are dialed into that. I as somebody who watched music be shut down for 2 years, I just want to see people get paid for their work. It drives this whole do it for the experience.
I get that.
forget the experience. The experience is learning how to play. The experience isn't playing for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that being said, your plans are what now? And so you guys are obviously you're going to be, some of you are in school and what have you. But I'm guessing you want to get out there and start playing live. Are you going to try to play in your own backyard for a bit? Get on some festivals in the summer? What are your plans?
It's really just to keep pushing ourselves further than like a backyard. Like we've been very fortunate within these past couple of years that we've gotten the opportunities that we've gotten.
Yeah.
We already. We this past year in October we had done a we did a little tour, but and that was just that first step into that, and it was a great opportunity. We learned a lot from that, and if we keep doing stuff like that, it gets us out there, and it's just an opportunity that you take a lot from.
I'm not in the room with you guys, but I definitely feel the drive. I feel the desire, and I know that music's never been as competitive. Years ago, obviously it was competitive, but now people's attention spans are crazy. And every show that you're at, I played a show a couple weeks ago. Everybody's got one of these things going, right? Where if you're brilliant, it's up on the internet in 10 seconds. If you suck, it seems to be on there in 5, right?
Yeah.
But I'm getting your drive, and I think that you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, you're right though.
Yeah, the people on the internet love to have their opinions.
Love to hate.
They do, and I'll tell you a funny story. First show I did with a new band about 2 years ago. We're about 10 minutes before we go on. A friend of mine comes up and he says, "There's about 10 drummers in the audience. Are you nervous?" And all I could think of was, I get their $10. They can leave anytime they want. Because at that point, it didn't matter, man. It was like the show was going to go on. I had done my work. And if you're there to rip, hey, go rip somewhere else. And if you want to rip when you're there, I don't care, right?
Exactly. You're doing
so where are my viewers going to find you guys? I know how I found you, but it was kind of a fluke. I'm not going to lie. Thank God I'm friends with Matt. I'm going to go out and join your socials and stuff. But where do my folks find you?
Really everywhere.
TikTok.
Our
YouTube,
biggest following is on TikTok,
Instagram, Facebook.
One of our videos of Josh doing a little Panama rendition just got 1 million views on TikTok.
Wow, that's incredible, boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, like really, everywhere, like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and all that stuff. So
yeah, the one thing about social media, and you guys can probably relate to this, is, and that's impressive, 1 million views on TikTok. And then you'll go and you'll see some guy in the back deck feeding raccoons, and he gets 38 million views, and you can just never figure out what social media is so frustrating, right? But sounds to me like you guys are on top of it. Look, I want to thank you fellas for doing this. We had a little bit of a hiccup, but we got her done. Josh, thanks to your mom for quarterbacking this. And I will, without sounding too funny, it's been a long time since I've said thanks to your mom for setting the band up for an interview. So that's awesome too. That she's
but yeah, actually, one more thing is like we want to thank our parents for everything they do to help us.
For real. Yeah.
Good on you guys.
We love our parents.
Good on you guys. Look, guys, thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank
you. Keep her going. I'm going to keep an eye on you.
Awesome.
Thank you, man.
Take
It was
care.
great talking to you.